To the grill, so we're doing back to the grill again, right? All those dudes come in, and when everybody leaves, Nas tells me like he got this deal he don't feel right about, and he wanted me to take a look at it, and I said I can't. I can't. Like it's legally I can't do it. I said, but if you sign a Searchlight, I can help you. And he goes, well, what does that mean? I said, it's simple. It's a one-page agreement. You sign a Searchlight.
Production deal?
Production deal. I'll furnish the album. I said, I won't take any money. I won't take any advance. I'll make sure you get the best deal in the world. And then on your publishing, I won't take any publishing. I'll take a 5% admin fee, which means I'll help the publisher administer your publishing to make sure people don't use your shit in the wrong way. So you're taken care of, and you'll keep all your shit. Right. And it's a one-page agreement. And he goes, all right, I got to think about it. Because he's 17 years old. Like, you know. So he's like, so I was like, oh, he's never coming back. He's not. It's like, even I knew, like, in 93, he's going to be the greatest MC of all time.
And you knew this off of one verse?
Off of one verse.
And that one verse, one of the credits at Live at the Barbecue.
I'm in the studio working on Back to the Grill again.
Okay.
Nas shows up with Jungle, his brother.
Yes, that's right.
They throw 4 blunts on the table, and he says, explain this to me. So I said, this is how it's going to work. This is how it goes down. I'm going to shop your deal. I'm going to go back to those guys. I'm going to make sure that they do the right thing if that's where you want to be. But if they don't get to the right
Faith?
This is before Faith. This is Stretch Armstrong
this is where I need to,
and Rob and Reef at Big Beat, who offered him the deal first. That's the deal he felt funny about.
I ain't know this.
At Big Beat.
Yeah, at Big Beat.
Stretch and Bobby, you said? Or Stretch?
No, but those are Stretch and Reef.
Reef, okay, that wound up at Shade 4.
And Craig Kalman was the head of Big Beat. It was his label.
So he's not at Atlantic. He's not at Warner, Craig Kalman, at this time.
It's part of the Atlantic system.
Okay, go ahead.
But he's got his own imprint.
Okay.
He put out the Double X Posse. He was putting out the Artifacts with Reef, who had signed those groups. And they were going to sign Nas.
Okay.
So we just get to smoking and chilling. Okay. And then he says, you know what? I'm going to fuck with you. Signs the paper. The next day, I go to Reef and Stretch. And I said, guys, the deal you offered him is the same deal that I signed in 1988. It's not a good deal. He's the greatest MC of all time. You don't even need to hear anything else, right? And Reef and Stretch felt some type of way about it. And I understand that. They're like, yo, why are you getting involved? And I said, look, he asked me for my help. When you guys left, he asked me for my help. I saw the deal. It's the same deal that I fucking signed to Def Jam in 88, which to this day in 2021, I've never seen a check. I've never seen a royalty statement. Damn. I've never seen publishing. I never got shit from fucking Left Hand Records. I mean, Def Jam Records, right?
Wow.
So I said, I can't let him sign this deal. Wow. Just make the deal right. They said, well, how do you make the deal right? I said, remove the publishing. If you want to sign his publishing, that's a separate deal. Bump this up, bump that up. I stayed there for about 5 hours because they were my men. They were my friends.
Right.
And finally, Craig Kalman, through those guys, said, we're not changing the deal. Ping, out. I went to Russell. Next move, I went to his apartment on 4th and Broadway.
Okay, I heard this.
Russell says to me, he sounds like G-Rap, and G-Rap don't sell no records, so I'm not interested.
Oh, shit.
Cool, gone. I went to Columbia, and I went to Faith. Faith didn't let me leave. He signed an amazing deal. And then once I left that deal, I went to Zomba Publishing because I had a great relationship with Richard Blackstone, who was the head.
And Zomba is, just correct me if I'm wrong, isn't that Jive?
It's Jive, right. So Jive is the record label, Zomba is the publishing.
Zomba's a publishing company like Warner Chapel.
Yes, sir.
Okay, continue.
So
I know my shit sometimes. So
I went to them, and they said, how many songs are you going to have on the album? I said, probably 12, right? He said, well, he's only going to get paid on 10. I said, okay, fine. But
that was standard
10 to
back
12,
then.
right.
That was standard.
They gave me a check for Nas. I went to the 40 side.
40 side burden?
One thing Nas said to me, I said, what do you want? He said, all I want is to get my mother out the projects. He said, if you can help me get my mother out the projects, we could. I went to see him with 2 checks for $300,000. I said, move your mother out the projects.
Wow.
And Illmatic was born from that day.
Yeah, like some noise for that.
But it wasn't like Illmatic just before after that. All right, so boom.
And one more noise made the Library of Congress.
Yeah,
right.
Yes,
okay. All right, so now you get the check, right? You guys get the check. All right. Now, how does the actual making of Illmatic start? Because when we Google you, they credit you for executive producer Illmatic, and it was written.
Correct.
All right, so let's just stay on Illmatic.
Yeah. So it was really simple. My role was really simple. Make everything easy for Nas. Mm-hmm. I obviously I could not help him make a record. Like that's fucking ridiculous. Right? It's like a blind man helping Picasso. It wasn't gonna happen. My job was simple. Whatever the producers made, I made sure the samples were cleared. Period.
Okay.
Yeah, so one thing I tell young artists all the time is that the most important part of the journey when you sign a contract isn't the advance. It's how many points you get from your record. Nas's first album, he had the same points as Billy Joel. Wow. And Billy Joel had been an artist for 20 years. Wow. Because I wanted to make sure that he was protected. Wow. I also made sure that the recording budget was really low. Right. So he wouldn't have any recoupment.
Right.
Okay. But with us, it was different. With us, it was, and when I say us, it was a team. It was my man, Serch, a.k.a. Mark Pearson. I got to give him his flowers because I don't think he gets enough recognition. He was my GM at Searchlight.
Okay.
I mean, so like Mark ran day to day.
So right? Nas was never signed to Wild Pitch. It was Searchlight?
He was signed to Searchlight Columbia.
Okay, continue.
But for all intent and purpose, it was Columbia.
Okay.
We were just the production company. Okay. So if you see the first print, it says executive producer Faith Newman, MC Serch. There's a little Searchlight production logo on the bottom. Okay. But it wasn't our label. All right. So I wanted to make sure all the samples were cleared. So anytime Primo did a record, anytime any of the other producers did a record, I said, give me all the sample clearance information. Cleared all the samples, got it all done, all under budget. Everything was done. When the album came out April 23rd, that first week we did 165,000 albums, week one. Nas was a millionaire week one. He's never had an unrecouped week in his fucking career. Ever.
That's unheard of. That's unheard of.
And Nas's deal was, I wasn't gonna do a long-term deal with Nas. It wasn't set like that. And Nas didn't want me to do a long-term deal. It was get him right. It was written. I didn't have my name on it. It was written, but I took care of all the business. And that was it.
You work with Nas, you do this. Nas and Jay actually have this moment against each other. Then Jay uses you as a punchline. He says, I know who I paid, God. Searchlight
Publishing. Yeah, he said, but you weren't getting paid, dog. You were getting fucked then. I know who I paid, dog. Searchlight Publishing. So the true story about that, it's really crazy.
Because I don't know.
No, this is a great story.
Yeah.
So I'm the head of CHR at Def Jam, and they're about to put out Reasonable Doubt. And Kareem, I think it was Kareem. It was either Kareem, Dame, and Jay, or Dame and Jay, come to my office and said, hey, we got to clear this sample, this Dead President sample. Take care of us. I said, okay, no problem. Give me like $2,500, but just know we're going to have 25% of your record on the publishing. And he was like, all right, cool. And that was it. He gave me a check for $2,500. I delivered it to Zamba. But if you look at the liner notes on Dead Presidents, Nas is one of the publishers. So I say, yeah, that line can live as much as it lives, but Jay don't own a piece of Nas's catalog, but Nas owns a piece of Jay's catalog. And that's a fact, though.
Oh, we didn't know that. We didn't, because we thought, like, when he said that, Searchlight Publishing, that he was meaning that Nas didn't have none of his publishing.
Oh, yeah, no.
Nas publishing.
No.
Yeah.
But that's what
I
he
have
was
a 5%.
insinuating.
Yeah, I have a 5% admin fee, which I'm like to this day on those two albums. I just make sure like things like if Nas wants to do it, I just sign off. And that's it. Like for me, like when I think about being a production company, right? I think there's two trains of thought. Train one is the artist ain't shit and the production company makes all the money, right? Or the second train is the artist ain't shit and I'm gonna figure out how to jerk the artist.
Right.
That's most of how hip hop is run their production companies. Right. I had a third train of thought, which was I wasn't gonna be the Jew to take advantage of a black man. Right. So I don't need to get wealthy off Nas, and I don't. My checks are very humble, and I'm okay with that because they're going to go for the rest of my life.
Right.
You know, when you think about streaming today, right? And you think about Illmatic. Illmatic streams 400 million a year. To this day. I get my fair share. I don't get more than I deserve. I don't get less than I deserve. I get exactly what the contract says. In fact, and I'll keep it a buck with all of y'all, 2007, I get a letter from Sony. They say, oh, we overpaid you. So you're not going to be getting a check. And my lawyer goes, oh, we're going to sue. And I said, we're not going to sue. Let it rock. We'll recoup. Eventually we'll recoup. And we did. It took like 10 years. Because I don't give a fuck.
What was the basis of them saying they overpaid you?
They said that the artist royalty that I got paid was congruent with what Nas was supposed to get paid. So I essentially got Nas royalties, but Nas didn't, it wasn't minused off Nas's share.
Right.
They basically paid like, it was like double dipping.
Right.
So they paid me exactly what they were paying Nas. But it wasn't accurate either, because the fact of the matter is, Nas was at like X amount of points and I was at 3. So that was the only correction we told them. And after they made that correction, they fixed it, we kept it moving. It was done, one and done. But it took like 10 years for me to ever see another check. And again, I'm okay with that because to me, the ability to earn isn't about one thing, right? I learned a long time ago, it's not the strong who survives, it's the flexible.
But did you receive like slack because of that? Because a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people took it as Serch owned the Nas publishing.
No, in fact, it was the exact opposite. Whenever that fucking verse came on in the club, I would get love, like, because my name got mentioned. People didn't even realize what it meant. They were like, oh shit, not Jay, mentioned Serch. That's fucking crazy.
So you sure you never got nothing bad, like even from like Nas camp or something?
No, Nas and I get, it's all love all the time.
Okay, that's beautiful.
You know, even like if you think about all the times Nas has mentioned me on his records, there's like 7 records where he mentions like our friendship or how I did him right. You know what I mean? Like he's never once said anything bad about me because he has no reason, because I treated him like a grown-ass man. I treated him like a professional. And I treated his music like a business. So that he would never have to worry. And his daughter would never have to worry. His daughter and my daughter, same age. They were born a month apart. His daughter and my daughter never have to worry.
God damn, make some noise for that. And then recently, we're just sitting down. They're like, you're going to watch the Grammys? I'm like, no. But I wake up the next day and they're like, yo, he won. I'm at a restaurant. We're in Billy's. We order all the crab legs. I drink all the champagne. Give me all the champagne y'all got. And I do a blog and everybody. And it was like, because, you know, I'm not from Queensbridge. I'm from Left Rack City. But I got a lot of love
Left
for
Rack or Iraq?
Well, yeah, you know, the same thing. But, I got a lot of love. And I just wanted to show them that love. I didn't want to interpret and say, we're bringing this Grammy back to Left Rack in Queensbridge, because that's not what Nas is Queensbridge. All day. So I did it. I bigged up Zoe's place. I bigged up my boy Left's place. And I mean, I could see all of them reposted and just being happy and rejoicing. And it just made me feel so proud, because that's what we is. Like in Queens, like sometimes we're so territorial that we'll be like, you know, I'm from Left Rack, but I'm just from Section 1. I'm from Queensbridge, but I'm just from Vernon Boulevard. I'm from Far Rock, but I'm just from
Redfern.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm from 40 Project. I'm from South Jamaica, but I'm just from Baisley. Like, and I feel like this was this moment where just all of us Queens rejoiced.
Yeah, so
how good did you feel from being in the beginning?
The trifecta for me, it's threefold for me coming here. One is to be here with you. 2 is understanding that Nas not only won a Grammy, but got into the Library of Congress.
Right, yep. Double entendre, bangada.
But 3 is making the left on this block and seeing MF Doom on the corner.
Wow.
And then this year, Nas winning the Grammy. You know what I mean? So I'm seeing all this, and I'm crying my eyes out. Happy, sad, you know, a million emotions going through me, because it's that moment. It's Nas, it's Doom, it's Fatima, it's Jeff, it's all of our people finally being where they're supposed to be, getting what they're supposed to get.